In this case, you would translate different ways, different words around the printer to the printer to connect the printer, and so on, containing the word which is different, printer. And then you would see what changes in the target. You match the target and you see what changes. And then you underline where you got a change. So you can weight how hard to underline from segments of length 1, 2, 3. And then you can decide what to edit. Also, it can be used to decide what to keep. So if a part of your segment is machine translated into a part of your target segment, this means this is something that you have to keep because it's already there. So this is a collaboration between professionals and machine translation, because when both say the same, you use this as a hint to know what to do. If they differ, then you probably say, hey, maybe you have to change this. One good thing is that you never show machine translation here to the user. And machine translation is only used where it agrees with the translation memory. So any kind of translation source can be used. This is agnostic. I don't know if this having been implemented anywhere, but there is a free plugin for Omega T. Omega T is, as you know, is a free open source machine translation cat tool. And we're currently working on a way to decide where inserts are going to be, because sometimes you have to insert, okay, you have a nice proposal, but you have to insert words, and it doesn't tell you where. So this is an example. So for example, you have, this is Omega T, you have to translate ciprofloxacin, nicomed, y nombres asociados, and you have to translate it into English, and you get, as a proposal, actira y los nombres asociados, which is actira and associated names. So you know that actira and maybe you have to change. And is wrong, by the way, and you could keep, but it got red. So you get red for changes and green for keeps. You could go a bit further and say, I'm not showing you the machine translation. Yeah, you have it. So why don't you just tell me what to change? Not only tell me what to change, but with what to change it. So you do this, and you build what are called repair operators. So basically, if you found this here, and you change this word here in this segment, then you change that word in the translation. So you get, with an example, for example, you have connect the printer to the computer, the same example as before, and then you translate connect the scanner to, and you get conecteo el escáner a, which doesn't match the sentence. It does match the sentence, sorry, it matches the target from the proposal, and then you translate the new one, which is connect the printer to, and it gives you conecteo la impresora a, which may be right or wrong. And then you build an operator that says, where it says conecteo el escáner a, put conecteo la impresora a. Overlap is good, because that confirms that you're putting your things in the right place. And you could do this, and then you could get a translation for this. So, many different repairs are possible, and then you would need quality estimation for that. Sometimes you could do simple things like if they make a mistake with the spell checker, you can say, or for example, grammar errors, you can say, this is wrong because it's not the right grammar. You might like bigger patches that have a lot of, it's not only plugging the hole, but just patching around. And then you can have target side context on both sides. Is it good to have it on both sides? So this is quality estimation. You basically estimate the quality of your repair operators. One thing is that fuzzy repair, these repairs relies on machine translation, and that's dangerous, but you could look at the history of the previous history and to see if some repair operators were okay or not, and then you can gather information about how to do this better. This is available in things like Deja Vu and MemoQ and many others. And we also did a free plugin for Omega T. Two of my students, Johnny Ortega and Mikel actually released this. So if you want to play with these things, there's open source software. By the way, I will leave the slides if you want to have the slides, so for the links and everything. To conclude, machine translation implements very crude models of translation. Translation is much more complicated than what we do in machine translation. But it can be helpful for translators if you tune it to your task. Particularly the new kid in town is neural machine translation, and it's becoming the new state of the art. Fighting hard with statistical machine translation. Also, post-editing is not the only way to use machine translation is translator workstation. Professional attitudes against post-editing do not always agree with measurements. Be careful with this. So if in doubt, time yourselves, measure yourselves. EAMT may be used in other places like predicting the next word or showing what to change or even changing it in a fuzzy match coming from translation memory. Although productivity studies are still scarce, so we don't know how these things work in the real world. That's one problem with machine translation as a field in general. This is not in the slide, but this is important. I think we machine translation researchers get carried away by the automatic evaluation measures, but we seldom make contact with real world measurements of productivity, so we have to do more of that. So, thank you very much. I want to thank people in my group. I mean, I am basically presenting my group's people, and also funding from the Spanish and the Kazakh government, because they did some of this for plugin development. The Arel University Translation Club for inviting me, and all of you for your attention. And the slides are free. So, if anyone wants to use them for new talks, you can use them, remix them, and do whatever you want. So, just ask me for them. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your speech. Can you stay with us, please?
Yeah.
We would like to invite Mr. Özgür Gözükara to present Professor Forcada his plaque. And now we have a 1 hour long lunch break. See you in the afternoon session of our conference. Bon appetit.
Yazıp hemen veriyorum. Öyle mi?
Arkadaşlar kulaklıkları bırakabilir miyiz şu aldığınız yerden? Teşekkürler, sağ olun.
Ben teşekkür ederim. İsteyenlere vereceğim.